So Bubba comes in here and he's just seen Marvel's Eternals and he wants somebody to talk to about it, but nobody's seen Marvel's Eternals. It wasn't particularly popular in my neighborhood. I don't know overall how it performed at the box office. And he comes in here and he's really excited about Marvel's Eternals. Wants to tell me all about it. And I said, okay, yeah, dude, I'll talk to you about Marvel's Eternals. And he seems kind of disappointed because I haven't seen it. And so he starts explaining it to me. And I pause him and I say, hang on a second. Is there like a female character that's maybe like the 7th or 10th, angel created, maybe the 14th, that rebels against the other angels, that rebels against God in heaven and does what she thinks is right? Because what you just described is Gnosticism. You just explained to me the ancient religion of the Gnostics, the idea of the Demiurge, the low god, the high god, Sophia is wisdom. In the movie, Bubba says she's called Athena. But that's what an understanding of religious texts and narratives will give you, is that you can see when they've been parsed together to make different stories, to tell and explain different things. And that happens a lot in literature. What is Dante's Inferno but a retake on Virgil's story, the Aeneid? Almost slipped my grasp. So why is it that I think that this isn't a change in the law, a change in the way that we do things to teach religious texts in schools? And again, like I said, I was already taught Vedic texts, I was already taught about Siddhartha, I was already taught all of these different things. We talked about Islam, we talked about Maniism, we talked about all kinds of religious narratives in school. So why couldn't a small religious community founded by religious settlers that's predominantly, like ethnically, still the settlers, have religious texts that they vote in as a municipality? Well, frankly, I don't think it's in disagreement with the Constitution. The Constitution, like I said, bans the state church, the idea that we would have separate courts, legal proceedings, that you could opt to be tried under the church's system, that we would have theocrats. And I think everybody's in opposition to that. But if you look at blue laws, right? Blue laws are the idea that you can't work on a Sunday, that a car dealership would be closed, that the postal carrier wouldn't come, that maybe you can't mow your lawn in certain communities or buy liquor. That's been upheld by the Supreme Court for completely secular reasons because people need a day of rest. And so cultural religious norms really have seeped their way into everyday life and parlance. And I think it'd be fair to give the children an understanding of kind of the poetry in Isaiah and some of the structure of the stories and narratives so that they have that as a stepping stone. And so, sorry for calling you un-American. That was crass.